So you just heard this news that the Speaker announcing moving forward with an impeachment inquiry, but you had called for a vote to open up an impeachment inquiry. It sounds like they're not going to do one. Would that be a mistake if there's not a vote?
Well, Nancy Pelosi set the precedents, and so this is absolutely a formal way to introduce it by announcing an impeachment inquiry by the Speaker of the House. I think this is a warning to Democrats to be careful of the precedents you set, because now we too can do the same thing. But I'm very excited this has been announced. I think this shows bold and strong leadership by our Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, and this investigation needs to happen.
But you said that you wouldn't support government funding bill if there's not a vote to actually formally open up an impeachment inquiry. Is that still your position, and why?
No, an impeachment inquiry has been opened, so I can go forward now. I had said I wouldn't fund a government until we open an impeachment inquiry. Now one has been officially opened by the Speaker of the House, and I'm very excited to see it happen. I think Americans deserve truth, they deserve transparency, and we need this investigation to go as long as it needs to uncover all the corruption that has been involved in covering up Joe Biden's crimes.
But you're not insistent on a vote per se. There doesn't have to be a vote. Is that your view?
I'm only insistent on following the House rules, and a precedence has been set, and so the impeachment inquiry is now open.
What do you say to some of the members of your own conference in some of those districts, like swing districts, who are concerned about going down this route, concerned about not proving that Joe Biden took official action to aid his son, or politically speaking, that it could backfire on them in their swing districts?
I think they have nothing to worry about. Uncovering corruption at the highest level, Vice President and President of the United States, is our job. And this isn't political at all. This is about uprooting those that have not only covered up Joe Biden's crimes, but Joe Biden himself. And we've done months and months of work on the Oversight Committee, I think 8 months now. And we have uncovered more information, wire transfers, bank statements, SARS reports showing that the Biden family has benefited by approximately $20 million and counting by abusing and basically selling Joe Biden's seat of power.
Congressman Ken Buck says you guys have not proven your case yet.
I think Congressman Ken Buck is more interested in working for your network than he is for the district that elected him.
You don't think that he knows what he's talking about?
I think he is actually playing party politics. He's either looking for Joe Biden to appoint him to a position, maybe the open Republican FTC seat, or he's looking to be a CNN commentator. He's not upholding the Constitution that he swore to protect, because impeachment is very much a part of the Constitution.
Do you think he deserves to be reelected?
I think that's up to his district, but I've heard rumblings coming out of that district.
You support a primary challenger to him?
I support his district in making sure they send a representative to Congress that actually believes in the Constitution, no matter how much they brag about their law degree.
So you met with the Speaker yesterday about this. What did he indicate about his plans on moving forward in terms of the timing and getting this done and actually bringing forward any sort of article of impeachment?
The Speaker has been clear for weeks and weeks now, on interview after interview, that an impeachment inquiry is the right thing to do, that it's not political at all. And this is very simple. It's opening up an investigation that gives us the full power of the House to look further, investigate further, and have more power behind our subpoenas. It doesn't endanger any Republican member. It doesn't endanger any Democrat member. It's simply the right thing to do for the House of Representatives.
What is the article of impeachment that you would actually be charging? What is the charge against Joe Biden that House Republicans will pursue here?
I think that's a good question, because it's important for viewers and the American people to understand is there have not been any charges made. There are no articles of impeachment written in this impeachment inquiry. It's simply opening up a very big investigation using the power of the committees that Speaker McCarthy named: Ways and Means, Judiciary, and Oversight, led by our chairman, and we will be investigating where the corruption is. What's important to me is that it's not only an investigation into Joe Biden and how he abused his power, holding some of the top, highest, most powerful seats in our land, but I'm more interested in investigating the web of people, the gigantic amount of people in conspiracy that covered up those crimes. And I think that's what we truly need to show to the American people.
Do you want the Speaker in the House to conclude this investigation by the end of the year?
No, I'm interested in going as long as it takes because, like I said, I want a very long, detailed list of names. We can already start with 51 intelligence community members that signed their name to a lie about Hunter Biden's laptop. That's a good place to start. We also know many others that have been brought forth by whistleblowers. David Weiss would be one of them, but I think we can uncover a lot more names.
Did the speaker indicate a time frame for you at all when you talked to him yesterday?
We have no time frame, and I'm committed to as long as it takes.
So just on government funding, so you obviously are fully opposed to moving on Ukraine aid at the end of the month. Did the speaker indicate to you how he plans to address that issue, whether to tie Ukraine aid to government spending?
I've been clear with Speaker McCarthy. I've been clear with my entire conference. I've been clear with my district and the American people. I will not ever fund any money towards a war in Ukraine. It's absolutely the wrong thing to do for our country. We should not be fighting a nuclear-armed nation, Russia. We should be fighting the Mexican criminal cartels that are killing 300 Americans every single day and responsible for $1 billion industry of human trafficking and drug trafficking.
And if McCarthy does move forward with Ukraine aid, what would that mean for his speakership?
What it means for me is a no vote. I'm clear on that. I don't think that.
What about him? Would he lose? I mean, would you support ousting him from the speaker? Is that how much, or no? Is that your bar?
No, I'm not part of the Burn It All Down caucus. I'm interested in saving our country, and I support Speaker McCarthy. I support what he just did. That was strong leadership. I also spoke to him about passing the aid money for hurting Americans that are suffering, like the ones in Lahaina and Hawaii, people in Florida, especially the people in East Palestine. They've been completely ignored. That's the funding I support. I do support funding the government responsibly. That means no money for COVID insanity, mask mandates, more vaccines. COVID is over and Joe Biden signed a resolution stating it. No money for Ukraine and no money for a weaponized government where the Department of Justice is abusing its power, arresting Joe Biden's top political opponents. This has got to end, and that's the only type of funding I support.
If McCarthy, Matt Gaetz may come to the floor at a matter of moments, and we'll see what he does, but there's some talk about introducing a vacating the chair resolution. What's your message to folks who are trying to oust him and try to actually force that vote on the floor?
I'm going to say that's going to fail, and I don't support it. And Matt Gaetz is a dear friend of mine. He's one of my top allies, and I'll always call him a friend. He and I are aligned on most issues, but I'm not aligned with a motion to vacate the chair, and I'm not aligned for this. What I'm for is Republicans coming together and accomplishing an agenda that serves Americans and Americans first.